Hello students! In this video, you will learn about the asexual reproduction of animals and microorganisms. At the end of this video, you should be able to differentiate asexual from sexual reproduction in terms of number of individuals involved and similarities of offspring to parents. Reproduction is one of the most important life processes, which is responsible for producing a new generation of individuals from pre-existing ones. Through the process of reproduction, the continuity of a population and preservation of characteristics are ensured. Reproduction is described as the ability of an organism to produce their own kind. Reproduction is a biological process by which new individual organisms are produced from their parents. It may perform in two ways, either asexual or sexual. Asexual reproduction is the mode of producing offspring with only one parent without fertilization of gametes. In asexual reproduction, the parent organism can produce more than one offspring which are genetically identical to it. Asexual reproduction requires one parent only. The offspring can be produced with a large number due to rapid reproduction when the condition is favorable. The offspring produced in an asexual reproduction is genetically identical to the parent organism, meaning it has the same genetic makeup as the parent. What are the different asexual reproduction of animals and microorganisms? One of the types of asexual reproduction is binary fission. In binary fission, the parent organism splits into two and will form an offspring that is genetically identical to it. It duplicates its genetic material or DNA and then divides into two parts, with each new organism receiving one copy of DNA. Some of examples of microorganisms that exhibit binary fission as a way of reproduction are bacteria, protists, and archaea. A bacterium could give rise to billions of bacteria within an hour when the condition is suitable and favorable. Another type of asexual reproduction is budding. In this type of reproduction, the parent organism develops a bud on its surface. As the bud continues to develop, it will eventually remove or separate from the parent cell, forming a new daughter cell. Some of the examples of organisms that exhibit budding for reproduction are hydra and yeast. On the other hand, a yeast cell can actually give rise to 24 daughter cells. We can say that they can reproduce rapidly. Another type of asexual reproduction is fragmentation. In this type of reproduction, the parent organism splits into fragments and each fragment grows into complete individual organisms that are clones of the original organism. Some of the examples of organisms that undergo fragmentation as a way of reproduction are lichens, cyanobacteria, annelid such as earthworm, ragworm, and leeches. Another type of asexual reproduction is regeneration. In this type of reproduction, the organism is capable of reproducing from a damaged or detached part of their body. In some cases, it could give rise to a complete copy of the organism. However, a simple regeneration is very different from reproductive regeneration, since it can only regain the lost body part but do not form a new organism. best examples of organisms that undergo regeneration are flatworm and starfish. The last type of asexual reproduction, but not definitely the least, is parthenogenesis. In this type of reproduction, the female organism develops gametes without the union of sex cell from a male organism. These are examples of organisms that exhibit parthenogenesis as form of reproduction: Komodo dragon, bonnet head shark, and Waramaba virgo grasshopper. What are the advantages and disadvantages of sexual reproduction? Number one edge of asexual reproduction is they reproduce rapidly, preventing them from extinction and decline in population. They can reproduce even in extreme environmental conditions. They no longer need to find or look for a mate to reproduce. Only themselves are essential in preserving their species. Asexual reproduction has only one disadvantage. They could only produce a genetically identical copy of themselves. That is why they will not survive if the environment changes, since they do not acquire features that will help them to adapt. An organism that undergoes asexual reproduction is susceptible to extinction. I hope you learned something today. For more videos, don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Thank you and have a day full of blast.